I mean, cluster ammunition is something that we shouldn't even be deliberated because we have about 180 nations, including the NATO members, who have banned this cluster ammunition because of the later effects of it. The use of cluster bomb has resulted in many significant civilian casualties, and it's not something that should be welcome in a country, not even to talk of a state. And but we have US being all head up to send this ammunition to Ukraine. Do you think do you think Biden is doing the right thing by sending this cluster to Ukraine, or this is another way of bringing the Third World War? Because, I mean, Putin said U.S. decision to send cluster ammunition to Ukraine posted unreasonable threat to Russian soldiers peacefully killing Ukraine. And Biden said it is necessary to give these cluster ammunition to Kiev because they do not have enough ammunition to fight anymore. And of course, we are trying to bring this to an end, but all of this is still coming up. What do you think is the reason behind Biden doing all of this?
Okay, cluster munitions are banned worldwide. It doesn't mean that all countries subscribe to it. United States, even Ukraine, and Russia.
It is not bound worldwide. Sorry to cut you short. Yeah. Many countries have bound it in their countries. It means that if Nigeria decides to use it today, that is our business, because if it is bound worldwide, I don't think that the US will go extra mile to do what they are doing. And remember that Russia said they do have these weapons, but they don't want to use it because they know the side effect, they know the after effect of it. So that is the situation that we are right now.
There has been evidence to show that Russia has started using cluster munitions in Ukraine. In fact, heavily, without making any report about it to the media. So the decision for US to start sending cluster munitions to Ukraine was to counter Russia's usage of the same munitions in Ukraine. And Russia, Ukraine, and US are not signatories to that general ban on use of cluster munitions. So there is no International Court of Justice that are going to hold them responsible for using this because they did not sign to the general ban on the usage of cluster munitions. So it is fair usage according to Biden, is to hasten the end of the war, because these cluster munitions sent to Ukraine are being used in the forefront of where the Russian soldiers mostly are, not where the civilians are. So it's like the lesser evil of both worlds. Russia has already been using it fully, and this is the beginning of Ukraine going into using of cluster munitions against Russian military, not Russian civilian population.
You know, looking at the kind of weapon that we're talking about here, if Russians have been using this ammunition during that intense war in Ukraine, I think, don't you think a lot of damage would have been caused more than this? Because when the first time US sent these ammunitions to Ukraine, Putin came up and said that it's not that we do not have this weapon, but we chose not to use it. But if you have decided to send it to Ukraine, then we'll let you know that we equally have it.
Yes, Russia is not entirely sincere about their non-usage of cluster munitions. Okay. In fact, that is even the reason why Ukraine has asked for cluster munitions from US, because about 1,300 deaths have been recorded in Ukraine caused by cluster munitions, unexploded cluster munitions, on civilians, not even the military. So that is why Ukraine is now asking for cluster munitions, because heavy usage of cluster munitions by Russia has already been established by Ukraine. But Russia has not made any public statement to say we are using cluster munitions, and it's not expected from Russia to actually say the truth, because Russia actually runs through a dictatorial style of government, and their military are very secretive. They are not going to say the exact types of munitions and dangerous weapons that are being used on Ukraine. Ukrainians have some of their cities blotted out of the map, and most of these are done by cluster munitions. So they have fair reason to ask for help from US so that they can counter the usage of cluster munitions by Russia.
Okay, so we have a lot of personalities, dignitaries, and of course countries that are against U.S. sending these weapons to Ukraine. And likes of Trump. Trump came up to say yes that Trump's decision, I mean Biden's decision, is not going to help the matter. Rather, is going to worsen the matter. So, what do you think about Trump's decision? Do you think that this is going to lead to the third war, or is just going to normalize things?
Third World War is not coming anytime soon. And Trump is campaigning for his elections. Biden is his arch rival in the democratic system there in the United States. So it's fair usage of him to criticize Biden. But I know if he was in seat, or when he was in seat, and this same situation came up, he wouldn't have any choice but to do what Biden is doing right now. Yes, he's just saying it because, election is coming. I will do this, I wouldn't do that.
But we have other, not just Trump, we have other personalities that have come up to say, this which you want to do is not the right thing to do. So you attaching it to, that means you're talking about, what's it called, political ambition here, that if he was in a position, he would have done the same thing. And what happened to the other countries that don't stand to gain anything during this election, but they are discouraging Biden, they are against Biden sending this to Ukraine?
War is a dirty game. Nobody wants the war to continue for as long as. And those countries that are advocating the non-usage of these cluster munitions do not actually have war in their domains. You have to be a Ukrainian to understand what's happening in Ukraine. If cluster munitions from Russia are beginning to wipe out Ukrainian villages and towns, and Ukraine needs some of this against the Russian military, and both Ukraine, Russia, and US are not signatories to the non-usage of cluster munitions, it's fair usage. War is a dirty game. The earlier it is over, the better.